What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Here on today's video, we're going to be reviewing Fast 10, the newest installment in the Fast and Furious franchise. It's the franchise that keeps on going, and it just gets crazier and crazier by every single installment. So let's just dive on into it right now. Alright, so Fast 10 is here. It should be said, I am a fan of the Fast and Furious franchise. I know it's bonkers, it's crazy, it's off the rails. Science, rarely exists in these movies, but they're fun. They are fun popcorn movies. I enjoy them for what they are. I think the cast, the producers, the crew, they know what kind of movies they're making. They're aware of it. And hey, they go into it. They just feed on into what we know these movies to be. And I can respect that, which is why, I had a fun time watching Fast 10. Is it a brilliant movie? No. But is it a fun movie? Yeah. Did I walk out of the theater enjoying it? I did. And that felt great, especially when I finished watching Fast 9. I did not like that movie at all. I think it missed the mark on almost all accounts. And I felt disappointed after watching that movie. Because, since Fast 5, I think they've been on quite a steady roll. And when Fast 9 came, yeah, it was just a bloody disappointment. But Fast 10 was great. And that is because of Jason Momoa. This is the main reason to go out and see this movie. Jason Momoa is brilliant in this film. He plays this villain role like something I don't think we've really ever seen before, especially one of these movies. He leans into the craziness. His character is insane, doesn't care about any repercussions from his actions, and actually brings something new to this franchise that it definitely needed. Now, this is a part one of now possibly a trilogy Vin Diesel recently teased, because this was going to be a part one and part two, but then Vin just said, like, hey, the studio asked me, could this be a trilogy? So who knows? We might be getting two more down the road. And this definitely leaves on a bit of a cliffhanger. I don't want to get into spoilers, although I'm going to get into spoilers at the end of this video, because I do want to talk about some of the stuff. So stick around for that. But non-spoiler until I say so otherwise. But yeah, Jason Momoa in here is brilliant. The best performance by far. So yeah, his dynamic with Dom and John Cena's character too, to me is pretty brilliant, funny as hell. Speaking of funny as hell, let's address the comedy in this movie. Up until now, I thought the comedy has kind of worked actually in these films. Some jokes worked for me in this one, some fell flat. The writing isn't really good here. I didn't love the script by any means. But again, you go into these movies for the script. No, you go into it for the action. And it's definitely some nonsense action here. You see in the trailer the bomb that's going off in Rome, and Dom has to stop it and all that stuff. It's out there. It's not plausible, but it happens in this movie. The dam is towards the end of this film, just how that whole scene is done. I don't want to get into spoilers right now. But, it's pretty good. It's good action. It's crazy, but it's fun for me to watch. I enjoyed it. All the characters are back that you know and love. The family, that's mentioned 25,000 times in each single film. But yeah, it's here. I wish we kind of got a little bit more time to connect with them in the beginning of this film. It does pick up right away. And I wish we could kind of just get, the first 20 minutes or something like that. If we could just kind of catch up with these characters, spend some time with them, learn and maybe see how they develop from the last film. That didn't really happen here. I wish it did. You had Rita Moreno in here for really only one scene. I would have liked to see her maybe a couple more times in here. But yeah, overall, the characters that we know and love, they're here, and it's great to see them back. We got some new additions here. Brie Larson is joining the cast as Mr. Nobody's daughter. I wish Mr. Nobody was in this film. Sad that Kurt Russell was not. Hopefully he's in the other ones. But Brie Larson, I like her a lot as an actress. I think she's great. However, I didn't really love her character in here. Maybe that's just because we didn't get enough time with her. I wish they developed her a little bit better. My favorite dynamic between two characters is Charlize Theron and Michelle Rodriguez in this film is awesome. Their chemistry, I think, is off the walls. You can see it in their fight scene that they do together is brilliant. Their chemistry in here. It's just a really fun back and forth banter between the two of them. And I like that Charlize Theron keeps on coming back because she's brilliant, and I like her characters in this film as well. Another character that keeps on coming back is Helen Mirren. I love Helen Mirren. She's in here for only one scene, but I love her anyway, and she loves these films. She always wants to be a part of them, so I'm glad she's probably going to be in here until the end. And let's now just talk about kind of how this one ends, because you have Jason Momoa tearing up the family for sure. Dom's a little isolated from the others in this one, and he's menacing. Jason Momoa's character is menacing in this film. It's a very dark turn, actually, for this franchise. This film is pretty dark with some of the things that they have Jason Momoa's character doing. And I actually enjoyed that turn because A, it was different, but B, when you're dealing with people who are kind of off the walls, crazy, but yet think their motives are right, it's going to be dark. So I'm glad they kind of actually expanded on here with that idea, and it worked great for me. There is one scene in particular I will address in the spoilers at the end of this video where I was just completely caught off guard, and I had no idea it was going to happen whatsoever. So that was definitely cool to see as well. But overall, the story here, it isn't great. It focuses a lot around Dom's son, which, I did like that dynamic. I like a good dynamic between a father and a son. It's we make fun of it a lot, family in this franchise, but you feel it between the father and the son. So that was really cool to see. I think they did a great job with that here, and it's definitely the heart of this film, and it will be the heart, I think, of this trilogy. So, with that all being said, if I were to score this film, I think I'm going to give this film a 6 out of 10. I enjoyed it. It was a great time. It was way better than Fast 9, which is what I wanted when I walked into it. I didn't expect it to be the best in the franchise. It's not the best in the franchise, but it's better than Fast 9, and that's all I wanted. So, with that being said, let me know your thoughts down below on it. But right now, we're going to get into spoilers. So, warning, if you have not seen the film, don't watch right now. Pause, come back, and watch after you see it. So, spoilers in 3, 2, 1, you have been warned. So right now, I just want to get into the scene I was talking about with Jason Momoa. It's with the dead bodies, and their faces are all taped up, and the eyes are just all weird. They're just sitting there, and he's just talking to them like they're alive. It just shows how crazy this guy is, how much of a maniac he is. I don't know. I did not expect that at all, ever, to happen in a Fast and Furious movie. That's where I was like, wow, this is a really kind of dark, sinister turn in this Fast franchise that I never expected to get from a villain. But I actually liked it because it showed how crazy and psychotic this villain is. So I thought it actually brought something to the character that Momoa plays. And another thing I want to get into spoiler-wise is the end. We know the dam, it's going to burst, but we don't see it. How this film breaks from, because it's a part 1, so it does leave you on that cliffhanger. It worked for me, but yet, so like Dom has a son, they get him back, whatever, after John Cena's character sacrifices himself, which I think was actually done pretty well. I like the dynamic with him and the kid, and when he had to sacrifice himself to blow up, I just hope he stays dead, because every single character comes back in this franchise. But yeah, so that was cool. And then when we're at the end in the dam, Dom's like, oh, you didn't take, or the one thing you forgot is to take my car, or whatever. And so he just drives on down the dam when there's exploding behind him. Somehow he survives with his son. And then Momoa's like, you're exactly where I wanted you to be all along. And then we see the bombs kind of set. They're going to detonate. And they're basically going to be drowned out. But we don't see that. We just kind of hear them explode in the background, where it then cuts to Charlize Theron and Michelle Rodriguez like breaking out of the prison in the Antarctica. I believe that's when it cuts back to them. And then the film ends there. I wish the film just ended when we saw Dom and his son. I think they could have tightened up that Charlize Theron and Michelle Rodriguez stuff, how this film was edited. I know I'll go back into spoilers, but how this film was edited did bother me. Spoiler-wise, though, anything else I want to add? Let's see. I mean, those two things, well, 3, I guess, the Jetsons. Oh, the post-credit scene. The post-credit scene with The Rock revealing himself, he's back. I'm glad The Rock's going to be in these next 2 films, if there are 2 more. Whatever thing happened between him not coming back, I don't want to get into the drama here, but whatever happened, I'm glad it's kind of done and over with, and they could squash that. And he was back into this franchise because he was one of the best parts in it. He was one of my favorite characters in this franchise. Definitely excited to see Hobbs being pulled back into this franchise because I think this film in 9, we're missing him. So, with all those spoilers out of the way, let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Did you like Fast 10? Are you excited to see Fast 11, possibly Fast 12? Or did this film just not work for you? Let me know all that and more down below in the comments section. I will be doing a Fast and Furious ranking video, so please stick around for that. That's going to be coming out this weekend here at some point. So, that will do it for this one, guys. And until the next one, I'm Tyson Honecker, and I'll see you then.